Okay, think about this for a second. Have you ever found yourself maybe doing a task you're supposed to do, but, secretly wishing for a little reward?
Oh, sure, like what's in it for me kind of feeling.
Exactly. Or maybe the opposite. Times when you've just poured your heart into something, completely happy, not expecting anything back at all.
Yeah, finding that pure joy in the action itself. It's a real contrast, isn't it?
It really is. And that tension, that's sort of what we're digging into today. We're doing a deep dive using, a really profound poem by the Nobel laureate Rabindranath Tagore.
Ah, the last bargain. Beautiful piece.
Right. And it's not just about appreciating poetry, though it is beautiful. We're using it to explore what real freedom might look like. What does it actually mean to be hired in life or to find your place?
It's a journey the poem takes us on.
Exactly. We'll follow the poet through these different encounters he has, these different offers he gets, and see how it leads him to this pretty surprising but really liberating insight.
Sounds good. Where does it start?
It kicks off with this very relatable human cry, really. The poet's walking on a stone-paved road. It's morning, and he calls out, "Come and hire me." Simple as that.
Just looking for engagement, for a purpose?
Yeah, a role.
Yeah.
And almost right away, the first potential employer shows up.
And it's a big one.
Oh, yeah. It's the king in his chariot, sword in hand, the whole royal setup.
Doesn't get much more powerful than that.
And he makes a direct offer, grabs the poet's hand, and says, "I will hire you with my power."
Wow. So an offer of control, influence, maybe even dominance?
Absolutely. You'd think that's a pretty compelling offer for most people.
Yeah.
But what happens?
Well, this is where it gets interesting straight away. The poet's reaction is immediate. He basically says the king's power counted for naught.
Not, meaning nothing.
Exactly. Nothing. It's not just a no thanks. It's a statement that this kind of external power, this control over others or things, it just doesn't hold any real value for the freedom he's seeking.
So it's like true freedom can't be granted by someone else's authority.
Precisely. It's just freedom from needing that external validation or control, an inner thing. The king's power, however grand, just misses the mark.
Okay, so power's off the table. The poet keeps walking. The day heats up.
Midday heat, yeah. The poem paints a picture. The house is stood with shut doors. A bit isolating, maybe.
Feels like it. And he's not on that main road anymore. He's wandering along the crooked lane.
A winding path, less certain perhaps.
Maybe reflecting his own journey, yeah. And then comes a second offer. Different vibe entirely.
Who is it this time?
It's an old man, and he's got his bag of gold.
Ah, the wealth offer.
Yep. And he seems quite deliberate about it. He pondered and said, "I will hire you with my money." Then, to really emphasize it, he weighed his coins one by one.
Very tangible, very calculated, like he's showing its absolute worth.
You can almost hear the coins clinking. But what's the poet's response?
Same again, essentially. A clear refusal. But I turned away.
So money doesn't cut it either.
No. And this really highlights that material wealth, however much there is, however carefully it's presented, it's just not enough for what the poet is truly after.
Which seems to be this genuine satisfaction, this freedom.
Exactly. It suggests money can buy things, security maybe, but it can't buy that inner liberation, that maybe spiritual contentment he seems to be searching for. It's insufficient.
Okay, so no power, no gold. The search goes on. Where does he end up next?
The day moves into evening. The scene softens. The garden hedge was all aflower.
A hedge being like a fence made of bushes.
That's right. A much gentler setting, more inviting than the closed doors at noon.
Here comes the third offer.
From this more beautiful, serene place.
Yes. The fair maid came out and said, "I will hire you with a smile."
Okay, so this is different again. Not power, not money, but beauty, charm, emotion.
Seems like it. An appeal to something more, well, ephemeral. It feels lighter, maybe more tempting in a different way.
It does initially, but its weakness is revealed almost instantly.
What happens to the smile?
The poem says, her smile paled and melted into tears, and she went back alone into the dark.
Wow, that's quite an image. So fleeting.
It really is. It powerfully illustrates how superficial beauty, or maybe even just fleeting emotional connection, it just dissolves. It doesn't offer lasting fulfillment or that freedom he seeks.
It kind of leaves you empty or isolated, like she went back alone.
Exactly. It reinforces this idea that relying on anything external, anything transient that we try to cling to, it's ultimately going to fade or disappoint. True freedom isn't found there either.
Man. So power, wealth, beauty, all these big hitters, they all fail. He's still unhired, still searching. Where does that leave him?
It leaves him near the sea. This is the pivotal moment. The sun's glistening on the sand. The sea waves are breaking waywardly.
Waywardly, like playfully, unpredictably.
Yeah, just naturally, freely. And in the simple, natural setting, he sees a child.
Just a child. No grand figure this time.
Nope. A child simply playing with shells, no big pronouncements.
What happened?
The child just looks up, seems to recognize the poet somehow, and says, with complete simplicity, I hire you with nothing.
Nothing. After all those other offers.
Nothing. And that's the last bargain.
Okay, this feels important.
It's everything. This is where Tagore lands his central message. That seemingly empty exchange, this bargain struck in child's play, is precisely what made me a free man.
How? How does being hired for nothing make him free?
Because it signifies detachment. Detachment from needing power, from needing wealth, from needing external validation or even fleeting beauty. True freedom, the poem argues, comes from shedding those materialistic bonds, those expectations.
So it's about finding value in simplicity, in just being.
Exactly. In the innocence and unburdened state the child represents, it flips the whole idea of value on its head. Being hired for nothing means he's no longer bound by obligation or expectation tied to external rewards. He's free because the bargain costs nothing tangible.
Wow. It's really profound when you put it like that.
It is, and it helps to remember who wrote this. Rabindranath Tagore wasn't just any poet.
Right. You mentioned he was a Nobel laureate.
Yes, for literature, way back in 1913. But he was incredibly versatile. A short story writer, a lyricist, playwright, even a painter. A true Renaissance man of Bengali culture, but with global impact.
And he translated much of his own work.
He did, which is partly why his philosophical depth resonated so widely. The last bargain is classic Tagore, using this simple, beautiful narrative to explore really deep truths about life. It really celebrates that innocence, that simplicity.
It's really quite something. We started with this quest for employment, for value, right? And we saw these offers. The world typically prizes power, money, charm.
All the things we often chase.
Yeah. And each one gets rejected or just fades away. And then the answer, the key to freedom, is found in nothing, given by a child. It's so counterintuitive to how we usually think.
It completely challenges our usual definitions of wealth and freedom, doesn't it?
Yeah.
This idea that letting go, accepting nothing, is actually the path to being truly free.
That really is the core insight here, isn't it?
Absolutely. The poem powerfully argues that genuine freedom of spirit isn't about accumulation or external rewards. It's an internal shift.
A detachment.
Yes, detachment from needing those things, finding richness in simplicity, in innocence, in a bargain that costs nothing and therefore binds you to nothing external.
So thinking about this, it makes you wonder, doesn't it?
Yep.
What does this mean for you listening right now?
A good question to ponder.
If real freedom involves this kind of detachment, what bargains might you be making in your own life? What expectations are driving you? And what might happen if you looked at them through this lens of nothing?
What would it mean to value something beyond the usual measures of power, wealth, or external approval?
Exactly. It's definitely something powerful to reflect on how this idea might shift our own search for happiness and, fulfillment.